All right, welcome to Smokey Approved Korea. I'm your boy journalist, and on this one, we are here to do uh, some confirmation research, is what we'll call this. This has been a good video to have checked out a little bit earlier, but we're watching it now. This is BTS and the normalization of invasion of privacy. Thank you guys for watching this with me. If you could please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description, and let's get into this.
The debate of celebrities and of privacy is a conversation that I don't really see progressing in a significant way, especially when there are huge corporations normalizing it and the general public consuming this content. The paparazzi cross many lines of a celebrity's private life in the hopes of finding a secret, a controversy, or some kind of unknown personal information. These private pictures or information are published as news by entertainment outlets, and this is why you may not even realize you're invading the privacy of your favorite artist. But celebrities of privacy does not start and end with the paparazzi shot. It's much more complicated than that. To start, it's safe to assume that the level of privacy and its normalization depend on the celebrity's level of fame and the country's laws on privacy. So here are some examples of some of the most relevant artists at the moment. BTS in South Korea, Bad Bunny in the Dominican Republic, Harry Styles in the UK, and every celebrity in America. Like I said, celebrities of privacy is not a conversation solely about the paparazzi.
Is invasion like a word I shouldn't be saying? Cause she keep bleeping this shit. Now, the I word is that not bad? Is that bad for the algorithm, or what's the situation?
In celebrities. Here's one example of that. Namjoon, also known as RM of BTS, has been quietly donating meals for children to the head monk of the Hweomsa Buddhist Temple charity for years. Earlier this month, Namjoon and his friend Sang Young of the group Bombing Tiger visited the temple, and Namjoon had a personal private conversation with the temple's head monk. After he left, Namjoon shared pictures of his visit on Instagram, but soon after, multiple media articles about his visit and his private conversation with the monk were published. The head monk, Venerable Dokmun, shared with the press details of their conversation and exclusive photos of Namjoon at the temple. This is bad enough, but what's worse is that many assume that the monk or someone else from the temple called the media before Namjoon even got there, because there were pictures published of Namjoon as he was entering the temple. So maybe the media didn't reach out to the monk for an interview after Namjoon's Instagram post. There was barely any time for that to happen. Maybe the media was called and ready to hide and take pictures of his visit from the very beginning. There were also some weird questions that the monk asked Namjoon.
But see, if that's the case, then that means there's an op within the circle, because the monk can only call after he gets booked, and we only know to call the monk if somebody inside the circle is telling us we're gonna go see the monk, or somebody within the monastery has been the op inside the circle. But there's an op either in the BTS circle or the monk circle, and that's who's talking to the press. It's a small list. It's a small list. We can find this nigga. We can find this nigga. Don't actually go find nobody though. I'm totally fucking joking.
That appeared kind of out of nowhere, and it's hard for many to not believe that he may have some questions planned in advance. Maybe the monk did talk to the press before Namjoon's visit, and they told him which questions they needed. And before I continue, don't worry, there's nothing wrong or even with Namjoon's replies to the monk. It's not about the response, it's about the fact that this
Yo, she sounds like she's dropping an album in like 94 with all these bleeps. What is the situation? Could anybody explain?
questions were made, and that the monk shared this private conversation with the media behind Namjoon's back. So after the articles with the conversation and pictures were published, Namjoon shared a screenshot of one of the articles and wrote on Instagram, "I was thankful for the good time, but I didn't expect an article to be published about it. Next time I will go to another temple quietly. Hashtag low-key must be low-key." He then deleted the Instagram pictures of his visit. After this, the temple released a statement that said, "We do not know how Arm's visit was reported." The monk tells the media that he didn't know that an interview with a journalist would lead to interview coverage. And I just find all of this so disgusting. Namjoon trusted this person who is supposed to be a reliable religious figure to have this heartfelt personal conversation about his life and the struggles. He reached out to this monk because he trusted and respected his temple to the extent of donating to the temple's charity for years. And despite all of this, the monk told the media details of their private conversation. So if Namjoon cannot trust a literal monk he confided in for
That is a bag and a clout chaser. Didn't he do it?
years, who else is he supposed to trust?
Gotta trust yourself. These folks out here.
Another recent BTS of privacy case is one that sadly probably
Fuck the military photos, unless that was J-Hope. Didn't Shorty slide up on that nigga and poke that nigga with medicine? What the hell?
won't stop for the next 2 years. The BTS members will be serving their mandatory military service for the next 2 years.
Supergroup BTS, Jin, the eldest member, has enlisted in the South Korean army because Korean men are required to enlist in the military.
Jin is currently serving, and his pictures of his military training are public on the government's military website. But they are public for one reason: to update the soldiers' family members on how they are doing. But since this is a public website, these pictures are shared around the internet, and the media makes articles about them. And about this, opinions are divided. Some people say,
What the fuck? That's creepy. That's like really creepy. Like in my brain, it's been normalized to like see like videos of like celebrities that are in the military, like doing like training or something. But like those are like media PR stunts, like from America. Like we know what that is. Like it's still an invasion of privacy. But like what? Like that's a little extra. But you're telling me just like because it's public, you go and look at the photos that they use for somebody to know that their family member is okay and be like, this nigga on Tuesday. That's mad. That's extra. That's what the fuck is wrong with people? That's what? How's that not illegal? That doesn't make any sense.
that this is our only way to receive updates from Jin, and that sharing these pictures is not a big of a deal because that is a common practice not only for celebrities but also for all soldiers. This person said, "It seems some of you have no experience with idol enlistment. Do a quick search of any
Yeah. I'll be right back, folks. I've been offered dinner. Okay, sorry about that. Had to give me a little dinner real quick. So, back into this.
idol who has enlisted in the past 5 years, and you'll find lots of content of them while in the military. There is absolutely nothing wrong with resharing what has been uploaded officially by the military. It is not as if people are going into camps and snapping shots of him. At the end of his first 5 weeks, we'll see a group shot as well as of him and his bunkmates. Please don't react ridiculously and claim it's behavior. Every celebrity who has been to the army has these pictures published on the news and forums. And I think all of this can make
But if they weren't a celebrity, all those other people would not get posted to news and forums. It only happens because we are misappropriating the usage of a public system to be able to invade people's privacy. It's a level of privacy socially. I don't know most people have the nuance for the understanding. So I see why they may say what the hell they're saying, but this is a really nuanced subject. Think of privacy this way and to then extend it to all of us as it should be is I don't know if society's prepared for any of that. I don't know.
makes sense at first sight to a lot of people. And if you used to be one of those people, I don't blame you, because like this person tweeted, this idol enlistment practice is extremely normalized. But just because something is legal or normalized doesn't mean that we should do it. As fans, what should matter to us are BTS's and Jin's wishes. People repeat this same argument. These are official updates by the South Korean military, and it's true that these are not pictures taken by people into the camps, but these are pictures that will be taken whether Jin likes it or not. Military service is mandatory, and the pictures taken are also mandatory. Most people that are there because they have to be there, or else they go to jail. And there is no way for Jin or any other soldier to refuse the government to take pictures of them while training and posting them on the government's website. Doesn't exist in this case. Either you accept it or you accept it. So why should we reshare these sometimes pictures of BTS that were taken without their Big Hit also released an announcement asking fans to not send letters and gifts to Jin's training center, and instead send him messages on BTS's Weverse page. This same person said, "It is also common practice for idols to receive letters from not only family and friends, but fans. Many idols also talk about how these letters keep their spirits up. The fact that so many of you are advocating for no letters and no updates, it's odd to me. If you personally do not wish to send a letter and would rather use Weverse as a form of communication, go ahead. But please think twice before using your big accounts and baiting people as when these are official updates by the South Korean military." And I just keep wondering, do you hear yourself? Just because many idols said they liked receiving fan letters doesn't mean that Jin should also like receiving fan letters. He asked for no fan letters, and you're still prioritizing what's normalized over your favorite artist's own wishes. This level of entitlement is so normalized it's scary, because some of these fans don't really want to do any harm. I don't know about this person exactly, but I know others who really don't. This person said, "Just speaking as someone who has been following the industry for more than 10 years, stop inventing things to be offended about, especially if you have no point of reference as to what is normal during the enlistment period. However, just because something is normal."
I feel like the conversation here is the acceptance of like tradition and culture, and the understanding that at a certain scale, can't tell a nigga nothing. Like Broden said that he didn't want XYZ, folks still do it. That's because at a certain scale, the amount of people that are attached to whatever you're doing now, they just don't care. They care, but they care for the reasons that they've decided, and they're not particularly all for whatever the artist and backing that artist's voice and going with that. That's where the term fanatic comes from. Those are the people that hear the sentiments and then do things afterwards that are not in line with the sentiments. I think the other half of the conversation is, are we coming to the point to where we begin to change the culture and allowances for celebrities and what is okay with celebrity interaction? Because I would like to be a fly on the wall of that conversation. And how does that happen? And how many other people do we need to be like BTS to retrain at mass celebrity interaction and consumption? Because the way that BTS has it set up, the interaction is only so personal. You get what you get through the music, and then if I ask you not to look over here, then you won't look over here. That's a different agreement than any celebrity before or since, because to become celebrity means that you give pieces of yourself away publicly, and it's coupled with whatever your talent is, be it music or whatever that is, to gain like a mass celebrity prior. But now they've done that but not done that, and like kind of changed the system. So I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see that future though, but I don't know if we're gonna get there. I don't know.
Doesn't mean it's okay for us to do the same. Don't be a sheep. Think for yourself and listen to BTS's wishes. What they ask for is what matters most. Also, think about what really
Don't be a sheep. But listen to these niggas. I'm sorry. It don't work. I understand it. I'm just being a dickhead. I understand. Don't come for me. I'm sorry. It don't make no sense. You gotta respect it. And respecting it means I listen to your wishes, but like it's still a sheep thing if we're all gonna do it in mass. But some sheep aspects are sometimes necessary. Like not putting your hands on another person. That's just some sheep activity that we should have. Nobody needs to be being violent with other people. It's just not necessary. I don't know. I'm sorry. I heard that. My brain was just like, what? Not don't be a sheep means I'll listen to a nigga, and then you tell me to listen to a nigga right after this. It's just like what? That's just crazy.
are the intentions and consequences of sharing these pictures. This person said this is a common practice not only for celebrities but also for all soldiers. But it really isn't. The pictures fans and media are sharing are not the regular pictures from the website. The articles about Jin's pictures blur the faces of every other soldier except for Jin's, because for them, the privacy of others matter, but Jin's privacy doesn't. Jin is obviously a public figure, but right now he is not singing, he is not performing, he is not walking down the red carpet. He is serving his country. He is doing intense mandatory work, and he is just
Oh, fucking hell. The conversation she's trying to have is just so much larger. This is how, like, what's it called, the Overton window or whatever? Like, this is how words lose or change definition. Because, like, public figure is exactly what he is at all times once you get to a certain level. But, like, she's trying to have a conversation, like, we could add the caveat of, like, you're a public figure, but only within these certain spaces now. But that's not how that word and the notion of why one would be a public figure and what that comes with and why we've structured certain things that way based off of this. Like, if I'm just overthinking this is cool, but the way I'm hearing her conversation of how she's trying to discuss privacy and how it should be handled is just crazy. Because, like, bro's a public figure at any time once you're at a certain level. So this is why your privacy has been lessened. But does that make it okay? So should we readjust these allowances? And, Jesus, that's, because then that's just, fuck. Because I come from America, I see the readjustment on public figure in certain spaces to be a very dangerous practice because they're already fucking rich and people know them. So then they're just going to fucking find an even easier way to take advantage once they get fucking certain things back. But it's just like, every person should have them, but not every person has the ability to walk down the street and know who, like, be a known figure and have the public sway of just being a liked individual. So when you walk down the street, people do things. It's this is a massive conversation. This is like one of those you like have a summit with like people to debate the like finer nuances of this, because I'd like to really like hear like some quality arguments on like yes and no of like why we should change the allowances of when somebody's a public figure and when their privacy rights are stripped back and when they're just completely covered, like if they were a private citizen in that moment. That'd be nice.
like all those other soldiers, but his privacy is not treated the same way by the media. So I think we should respect his wishes by not engaging with his content. I know it's so normalized that us not sharing these pictures won't stop the media to keep making these articles, but we can prevent them from going out of proportion or going viral. And at the very least, we are respecting their wishes of leaving them alone. I still wanted to clarify that these two issues are not the only of privacy problems that BTS has. These are only the two most recent ones that don't directly involve the paparazzi, because if I talked about those, I would never stop. But here's one important distinction that should be made. Most celebrities, including BTS, judging from Big Hit's announcement, don't mind the paparazzi at public events, but they draw the line at the of their personal lives.
There is a time when you utilize it, but that's when you respect it. I don't mind it when they need to be there. If there's a thing that's going on, like at my fan event, of course, I wouldn't mind that.
So with
see, that's why the paparazzi be like, fuck you. This is why I'm like, this is a dangerous precedent she's arguing for. Shit like that. Because famous motherfuckers like to use them. It is a service. It is a practice. It is, if done well, can be a time-honored tradition that people can really gain some insight into a thing that they'll never really understand or see. So this is why I'm like, this is dangerous. This is dangerous for so many reasons. It's good, but then it's also dangerous because rich cunts, not saying BTS and them, man, just like people in the world, once they get to a certain level and they understand how a lot of these systems work, especially with media manipulation and paparazzi, like People are very fucking dangerous. Like the written word and the dissemination of information and content is a power that I don't think most people truly grasp or understand. So when I see the frameworks of how these two things have been built up, and we do already have like a shitty, messy separation of church situation with it, that changing it in certain ways, like, oh, I'm just like, oh, fuck. What are we going to have at the end of this? I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued.
With that distinction, I want to say one thing about the paparazzi culture in Korea. I always find it weird how Korean media knows and reports where BTS is traveling at all times. They know the exact times when they're going to be at the airport and what their upcoming plans are before they even happen or
That's an
before the
op.
members or Big Hit announce it. And this is something that celebrities in Korea cannot really avoid because
There's for sure a nigga in Big Hit to talk to the media. That I want you to know that person is real. There's a real person at every fucking major corporation that talks to a person in the media, and they get like exclusive access. Like there is a strange bedfellows relationship. I promise you, every cunt has one. It is, like, fuck. The media is such a crazy system. Like if you have like a communications degree or something, like you probably get what I'm thinking about. But my just understanding just comes from like getting taught in Hollywood how to like use the trades and other forms of media, and then a little bit of the journalism school I did. Well, not school. I took journalism for 2 semesters, so let's not say I went to school. But like, my Jesus, I. This is one of those rare times where she's talking about a topic that I like am actively vested in on both sides, because I care about how information is given to people, because I understand how corrupting it can be or manipulating it can be. But then I also understand why we have the rules we do for when we cover famous people, because the shit that they used to do back when they were famous, but like they were still just protected like a private citizen, despite having certain levels of power imbalances when it comes to what their lives are afforded versus what a regular person's life is afforded. So it's just like, this is, I'm glad I watched this. I wish I had watched this before I watched that other video, because certain requests I don't know about. So I just be like, I'm gonna watch what I want to watch. But now I'm just like, okay, it makes a lot of sense. Where I was just like, bro, I can't believe this nigga here done this. You guys deal with things on a higher level in the Army than I've seen any fan base. Like there's people in every fan base that do things that Army do, but Army has every person's job set inside of it, which I don't think other fan bases have. And then you guys have these nuanced acceptances and understandings, like the price point for an album, the understanding of chart metrics, the understanding of privacy, and a nuanced level of understanding of privacy and adherence to it. That's mad. That's fucking crazy.
Because unlike other airports like LAX in Los Angeles, Korean airports don't have private exits, so it's impossible for the members of BTS or any other celebrity to go to the airport without the paparazzi not noticing. This is how the Korean paparazzi normalizes this content, and this is why you will always see BTS at Korean airports, but almost never at American airports. Especially in the last years, BTS has almost always taken the private exits in American airports. But what I find even weirder is how Dispatch, the biggest paparazzi organization in Korea, successfully distanced itself from being called a paparazzi organization. But I think we should call Dispatch and all of these similar media outlets what they are. They are not photographers, they are not journalists, they are not the news. They are paparazzi agencies. Although they also do official photo shoots with celebrities, Dispatch is more paparazzi agencies. Although they also
I ain't never seen 7 niggas look angry and like they's held hostage. And like, goddamn it, we got to do this shit all at the same time. But this nigga V got the most disapproving gaze. Like, you niggas ain't shit. I actually hate you, man. But I'm here today. RM's got that, like, you know how like when you're older brother like kind of looks down on you and like pulls his chin up, just like you fucked up, bro. Like I don't fuck with you today. Like he's got one of those. JK just looked like just uncomfortable. Sugar looked like, boy, if I could slap one of you, man, I'm slapping him. Jen's just like chilled and bewildered. Like, why am I here? Like, I don't fuck with these niggas. Jimin's got that sassy play with me and to see what happens. And then I hate to do it to J-Hope, but that boy, he looked like the disproven auntie. Like that sullen face where it's like, why'd you have to do this? You've disappointed me. This is how I feel when I see this picture. But they all look fresh, though. All the outfits actually work. Except my little nigga's jacket. I just wish it was more tailored to his frame. That's the only thing wrong with it. Besides that, everybody's smashing it.
Do official photo shoots with celebrities, this batch is most known for reporting and dating rumors of Korean celebrities.
This
Even
batch is
make it
TMZ.
a whole event that happens every January 1st. So I don't care if the BTS members and other celebrities had official photo shoots for this batch. They may be part-time photographers, but they are full-time. And no matter how much they want to call themselves a
Goddamn.
media outlet, they are a paparazzi organization, just like TMC are in America. And as a side note, I think we should be a little careful when calling fan sites. They are personalized paparazzi, because no matter how respectful they are or how much of a fan they are, taking professional pictures of a celebrity
Is this
how
real?
respectful they are.
Is this Photoshop? What the fuck am I looking at? That's mad.
Or how much of a fan they are.
They're just, they're just like NPCs, yo. They just all got the same fucking camera.
Taking professional pictures of a celebrity in different events for a living is being paparazzi. I know not all of them are sasaengs or stalkers, but not all of the paparazzi cross the line. Some are respectful, just like some fan sites, but by definition, they are both the same. The thing about the paparazzi in South Korea and in the US is that there's really nothing BTS can do. Especially in the US, the law protects the paparazzi's right to take pictures of celebrities in their everyday lives. The only thing the celebrities can do is ask to please don't take pictures as a favor, but that almost never stops them. Instead, this can motivate the paparazzi even more to do the opposite. So the celebrities just don't say anything, including BTS. There were only a couple of instances when BTS's security asked to please not take pictures.
No photo, please. 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 No photo, please.
Can you please stop for like 5 minutes, please?
But the paparazzi's response is of surprise, because how dare these celebrities ask for no pictures? This is America, and the right of following them on the streets and taking their pictures
I don't know where that clip was, but I know that had to be Los Angeles. That had to be Los Angeles.
matters more than the celebrities' wishes.
What? No photos? I don't get it.
You can't touch me, but that's illegal. That's illegal. I'll call the cops. If you break my, okay, but I'm gonna call the fucking cops if you.
See, like the overlap of this conversation just falls into like First Amendment, like freedom of speech and like freedom of like journalism, and journalism to a degree is photojournalism, despite how shit it is. So this is where I'm like, there's so many layers to this. This is an onion of a conversation.
You touch me again.
Okay,
Don't
please
touch.
respect
But
us.
don't say to us, all right?
The truth
Man's
is that
getting
not saying
paid.
anything
Don't touch them,
is the
man.
best the celebrities can.
I promise you, it's like dealing with the police. It is far better to go through the interaction and catalog all the infractions and then file a report and sue their ass afterwards than trying to fight that shit on the side of the road, because it's just going to get long for man. Same with the paparazzi. It is far better to just be patient and get the fuck out of there as soon as you can in a safe and calm manner than it is to be like, I'm being invaded because of my privacy, because I promise you, with how things are set up right now, that nigga getting paid and you gave them exactly what they want, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. And if your team is built correctly, they will make sure that happens for you, like we see with BTS. But if your team is built wrong and they allow you to snap on the fucking paparazzi instead of getting in the fight with you, instead to make sure that you don't get in the fight with the paparazzi to protect the money, then you should fire the people on your team and you should build another one and have somebody understand on the team that we ain't gonna fuck the money up by fighting the paparazzi. It's a bad look. We can explain us fighting easy. That's an easy conversation. You beating the paparazzi up with how the current world looks at what paparazzi is allowed to do, it's just a long one. And then you just show that you're just an aggressive, angry person. It's just there's so many ways that the media just bends like the human condition to be like a improper thing. It's crazy.
Can do, because if they confront them, it becomes a bigger issue.
See?
Like I said, celebrities' of privacy and the entitlement that people have over celebrities' lives does not only come from the paparazzi, but also the celebrities' fans. Recently, the Puerto Rican singer Bad Bunny, tired of people following him around, threw away the phone of a fan who was recording him very closely. The response to Bad Bunny's action is, as expected, divided.
I'm waiting for either one of you to condemn him, because if you don't, I'm going to go ahead and do it myself.
No, Fabian, this guy should be honestly.
It's theft. It's technically a too, actually. I don't know about a...
Hold on, it's not a...
He's a...
What the woman did was not disrespect.
I do expect people to respect boundaries. If you are a celebrity, that doesn't change. People should respect each other's boundaries, and I think Bad Bunny had the right to react the way that he did.
But I still wanted to talk about this example because what I see people commenting a lot is that the celebrities are the ones who have a reputation to take care of, and that although the fans and paparazzi can be annoying, it's the celebrities' responsibility to accept all of these side effects that come with fame. And of privacy is one of those side effects. They chose this life. They chose fame, so they deserve it.
Bad Bunny, you're famous. Your fans are why you have all the
This
nice
comes with the territory,
and
okay?
money.
Bad Bunny may even face legal consequences, and a lot of people think it's fair.
I hope this girl... I don't know what the...
It's only fair on the aspects of just because you are rich, famous, or whatever does not give you the right to touch another person's things. It is just not allowable. It's not. We don't live in that time period no more. So just touching nigga shit just because they close to you and you want to stop them from being able to do what you want to do, you are infringing on somebody else's rights, just like they're infringing on yours. There should be a system for, like, when people do that shit that Shorty was doing, where like, yo, she's physically touching him without his want or need or permission. So that's technically assault. So she technically assaulted him first. So that's probably actually the way they're gonna go with the defense, which is that's gonna be a sweet defense. It's gonna be a sweet defense. He's got a good lawyer. It's an open shut case. Man bust case on this, quite easy. But you just can't touch people's shit just because you don't like what they're doing. It's just not okay. Doesn't matter if you're famous or not. But again, you see how that one lady was like, well, I think Bad Bunny's justified doing what he's wanting to do. That is where it seems like, in Bora's estimation, we should kind of push things where, like, if you do shit like this to somebody, they should be able to have the allowance to respond. And you know me, sir, you slap a nigga if he get out of line. I would like to see a kind of push or move to that area. But, like, people are stupid. They're not going to say yes to this because then that means they get slapped in the mouth. And they keep making things more fucking just like, I can do whatever I want. Nobody can do anything to me just because it's whatever. I'm just like, no. Like, you have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of consequence. Motherfucker might slap you in the mouth for the shit you say, and that should be okay. A motherfucker might slap you upside your head because you've invaded my personal space, and I don't fucking know you. Don't just run up on me trying to take pictures. Treat me like a regular person still. So, I don't know. This is a good one. Bora did this. I wish I had seen this earlier, for real now.
The laws are in Dominican Republic, but I hope she's him.
And I think this further proves that people don't treat celebrities like people. They are entertainment, so they are treated like zoo animals and are expected to accept this treatment. The difference between Bad Bunny and BTS is that BTS always takes this treatment with a smile. That's why they don't get the angry response from fans who think they should just take it. But the fact that BTS is not throwing away cameras or the paparazzi doesn't mean that they don't hate it. No response doesn't mean approval or consent. The BTS members do ask fans to respect their personal space all the time, either personally on Weverse or through announcements by Big Hit. But when these wishes are not heard by fans and the media, they simply continue walking and even smile to the cameras. This gives fans and the paparazzi a reason to believe that they actually enjoy being followed around. They are waving to the cameras, they are smiling, and sometimes they don't respond, but they don't seem bothered. So it must be okay for fans to continue doing the opposite of Big Hit's announcement. But people need to understand that there's nothing else they can do. When they ask to please leave them alone, people won't listen.
What? No photos?
When they show discomfort, the paparazzi push to get their worst reaction. When they don't smile or wave at people, they seem like assholes.
Do you think that it's kind of rude that they just totally ignored all their fans? Because they want your money.
And if they ever dare to disrespect fans,
oh, that's such a big question. Do you think like you're giving them the answer before you ask the question? That's such like shit like that is like unethical. Like you should not be able like. That's where I'm like. Journalistic ethics have been rolled back so far that people are allowed to do shit like that and call it journalism. And this is where I'm like, the systems are crumbling. Because no way you should be able to legally ask that question and disseminate that to the public. That should be wrong. It's like it's criminal. Do you think X, Y, Z because they want your money? What are you saying? Ah, man.
Like they are being disrespected, they will not be considered nice celebrities anymore. They will be labeled as ungrateful. So acting quote-unquote normal is the best they can do to keep this content less relevant. But this is very unlikely the real response. Harry Styles smiled to the cameras and waved at fans for years. He was nice to the paparazzi and never confronted or yelled at them. But he was so tormented by the paparazzi that he asked the court to ban unnamed photographers in the UK from him.
The order prevents unnamed photographers from the singer by car or motorbike.
This was the best he could do in the UK, but he's still in the US today because there's really nothing significant these celebrities can do to be left alone.
He's very good about it, but you could never get an order like that here in the United States. No.
So just because BTS act normal and don't give a crazy response doesn't mean that they are consenting. Just like Jin in the military, there is nothing else they can do. They already asked for privacy as a favor, and although it's legal for us to do the opposite of what they're asking for, that doesn't make it okay. I know it's tempting to engage with paparazzi content because you may want to know how your favorite artist is doing outside of events like concerts or red carpets. But when you actively engage and share this content, you are no better than the paparazzi. You are invading the privacy and disrespecting the wishes of who you say your favorite artist is. Especially when it comes to BTS, I don't find it necessary to follow them around just to know how they are doing. They don't have to, but they update us about their lives when they can. And if there's something they want us to know, or if there's an event in which they want us to be, they say it. Both Jin and Big Hit ask fans to respect Jin's privacy and also the other soldiers' privacy by not visiting Jin's military entrance ceremony. They asked to not send letters to his military unit. And if the pictures of him training are meant to update his family and are not even taken with his, we should not be sharing them. Jin is a singer, and we can take pictures of him in events like concerts and red carpets, but not his personal life. I know it's legal to share his military pictures, but it's also legal for the American paparazzi to follow them around and take pictures of them, and they seem to hate it. It's legal for people to share their private conversations, but they don't like it. It's legal for fans to get closer to them and ask them for autographs, but they have thanked armies who recognized them in public and pretended like they don't know them. Big Hit asked us to respect the members' privacy during their training, and that should be enough reason for us to not share those pictures. There's nothing else BTS or Big Hit can do because this kind of of privacy is legal, but that doesn't make it right or comfortable for them. The paparazzi problem is even a bigger issue that we, even as a huge fandom, can control, but we can try. Having these honest and open conversations is a start, because you may think it's not as normalized as before. You may even condemn it or disapprove it, but pay closer attention. Most of the time, this kind of media coverage looks normal. It may look official and it may seem like it's not coming from the paparazzi or stalkers, but if it's not coming directly from a public event or BTS's and Big Hit's official accounts, it's usually against their wishes. How many times a month does Big Hit respond to the media? We cannot either confirm nor deny when it comes to their predictions on BTS's schedule. It's a joke at this point. This official ruin everything. Every surprise release, every surprise event they had planned, every song that was leaked, every private picture, private schedule, private conversation. It's so normalized that even fans accept it and share it because it comes from an official source, an official news outlet. When what should matter the most is if it came from BTS themselves. Respect your favorite artist's wishes and stop engaging with this content.
Don't know. I'm in two minds because I'm all for the respecting of privacy and all that. Now that I know, but I'm more so in two minds when it comes to the greater conversation here, because Jesus, the road to getting to becoming famous, if you're not a political figure, is through the I guess in entertainment, I guess specifically, I would have to say, is the trading of your personage plus your talent. It's not just like talent. We're not supporting people because we never seen what they look like and only heard them and seen them in music videos, and that's why we support them. Like, we grow an attachment to people, and then that attachment makes us curious for the other things. So this is where this market comes from. But the usage of this market and its overall protections are just so rooted in like public safety, like being able to just take a photograph of a nigga because you see him doing some fucked up shit, and because you're a paparazzi, you have like legal protections because they might just use their fucking money and influence to make the picture just go away, but they can't do that, or they actually have to face like real criminal like charges for this. But then that gets abused when you just are watching a nigga eat a mac and cheese fucking I don't know. This is such a hard one. Not for me to adhere to, more so to just think about like privacy in the world that we live in currently is just such a fluid concept, and has, at least because of where I've grown up, such rigid frameworks for what I'm like is not okay. But then I'm in the UK right now. I'm under CCTV surveillance, like as soon as I step out the door, essentially. So I'm being surveilled at all times. So my privacy is being infringed on. And then to just think of all the other ways that privacy just comes in, like on my phone, what I share online, how I make these videos, how I discuss my life in these videos. Like, fuck, privacy is such a vast concept, and it's just, how do we decide as a society what the frameworks are going to be, and how many people have to come together on a celebrity level to actually push the conversation to more allowance of civil protections while also being a public figure. But then also when you become like iconic, like fuck, when like most of the population knows who you are, like, oh damn, like what do you do then? Like, can you actually have a private, like outside of your house? Like, is privacy even a concept that is even real at those numbers? Like, it was almost like 8 billion people. So like, say like 6 billion people knew who the fuck you were. like by fucking face. Like privacy is still like an idea, but like, can it really be applied to your life once you step outside of the fucking house you pay for? And then is that actually a private home at that point when every cunt on the world knows, like, yo, that nigga live on 15 Jefferson Street. Like, that's what it is. Like, oh. I don't know. You guys got to let me know, because I'm just keep rambling about this, because it's a really good conversation. This is, I'd be fun at dinner parties, wouldn't I? I like to think about shit like this, because this is, fuck. I'm going to fuck Josh's brain up with this one. We're going to have a good little debate over this. I want to actually have a conversation about this. That said, though, thank you guys for joining me. This was a fun one. Thank you, Bora, for having such a well-framed concept of a discussion, because I'm not gonna say it's an argument, because she's just presenting her side of what it is. So yeah, it's really good though. Great fucking job. Thank you guys for joining me. Please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description. See you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.